Back in 2006, long before electric vehicles became mainstream, a small startup called Aptera was already thinking way ahead of the curve. At the time, the company was known as Accelerated Composites, and it introduced a futuristic three-wheeled vehicle that promised an unbelievable 330 miles per gallon. While most automakers were still focused entirely on gas engines, Aptera was talking about ultra-efficient transportation and lightweight electric mobility years before it became trendy. The idea definitely grabbed attention. The vehicle looked like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, with its sleek aerodynamic shape and motorcycle classification. But despite all the excitement, financial troubles quickly hit the company. The late 2000s economic crisis made things even worse. And by 2011, the startup had collapsed. It briefly came back in 2012, only to shut down again in 2014. For most companies, failing twice would be the end of the story. But Aptera refused to disappear. In 2019, the company returned once again under the name Aptera Motors, this time with an even bigger goal, creating a solar-powered vehicle that could dramatically reduce the cost of driving. Since then, the company has been fighting an uphill battle to get production started. Still, things are finally starting to look more serious. Earlier this year at CES 2025 in Las Vegas, Aptera showed off what looked like a production-ready version of the vehicle. After that, things went quiet for a while, and many people wondered whether the project was stalling again. Now, there's finally some major progress. Aptera has announced that the first 5 validation vehicles have officially rolled off the assembly line in Carlsbad, California. That may not sound huge compared to major automakers producing thousands of cars every day, but for Aptera, this is one of the biggest milestones in the company's history. These vehicles are being used for extensive testing, including road performance, durability, safety systems, software integration, and real-world solar charging. In other words, this is the stage where Aptera is trying to prove the vehicle actually works reliably outside of presentations and prototypes. And there's definitely pressure to make it happen. Reports suggest that nearly 50,000 reservations have already been placed for the vehicle, showing there's real demand for something different in the EV market. So what exactly makes the Aptera special? The biggest selling point is the fact that it can generate its own power directly from sunlight. The body is covered with solar cells capable of producing up to 700 watts of energy. Under the right conditions, the company says the vehicle can deliver up to 40 miles of driving per day using only solar power, without plugging in at all. That's a pretty wild concept when you think about it. For many people with short daily commutes, it could mean barely needing to charge the vehicle traditionally. The Aptera still includes a 40 kilowatt-hour liquid-cooled battery pack for longer trips, and it can be plugged in like a normal EV. A full charge reportedly takes under an hour, and the company plans to support Tesla's supercharger network through the NACS charging connector. On a full battery charge, the vehicle is expected to travel up to 400 miles. Performance is decent too. The electric motors can push the Aptera from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds, with a top speed of around 100 miles per hour. It's not designed to compete with high-performance sports cars, though. Efficiency is clearly the priority here. Inside, the cabin is pretty minimalistic. There's room for only 2 passengers, and the interior focuses more on functionality than luxury. Drivers get a central display for battery and solar information, along with side camera displays, instead of traditional mirrors because of the unusual body shape. Features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto still aren't available yet. Safety is another area the company is continuing to improve. The Aptera uses a reinforced safety cell, along with energy-absorbing structures designed to crumple during an impact. The team is also working on integrating airbags, ABS, and parking assistance systems. As for pricing, Aptera says it's targeting around $40,000 for the launch edition. Reserving one currently requires a $100 deposit, and buyers will have 3 color choices available. After nearly 2 decades of setbacks, shutdowns, and restarts, Aptera finally seems closer than ever to putting its solar-powered vehicle on real roads. Whether the company can successfully scale production remains the big question, but for now, the project is no longer just an ambitious dream.